All right, the impeachment inquiry against President Biden for his alleged involvement with his family in influence peddling to foreign actors began this morning in a hearing held before the House Committee for Oversight and Accountability. Fireworks began almost immediately, with the Democrats on the committee calling the inquiry a sham. Now, this despite the fact that there are bank statements, emails, and text messages indicating both the president's involvement and the receipt of millions of dollars by his family, selling the Biden brand. What else did we learn from today's hearing? Well, joining me now to discuss this, Congressman Pete Sessions. He serves on the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability and the House Financial Services Committee. He represents the 17th Congressional District of Texas. Congressman Sessions, welcome to Washington Watch. Good to see you.
Tony, thank you very much. Your listeners are going to be very eager to hear not only the report from today, but how we believe it's important to hold the line on criminal behavior in the White House.
Well, Congressman, let's start right there. This was the first inquiry hearing. Your reaction to today's opening round, what was uncovered or what took place?
Tony, thank you very much. The essence of our opening of this from the Government Reform and Oversight Committee is that we are attempting to discover and to learn about the government and decisions that were made by this government, including the Department of Justice, including the Treasury Department, and including perhaps even people inside the White House who have cast a net around the need to protect not just Hunter Biden, but the president himself. And numerous decisions have been made by the Treasury Department, the Department of Justice, not to pursue the matters as it related to criminal behavior by not just Hunter Biden, but the association that he has with the then Vice President, President of the United States. And so what we're attempting to do is gain information that will need to be given to the Congress under the auspices of us seeking this information with an official inquiry that the American people understand. And just like President Trump, when he was in office, the Department of Justice provided reams of data to the impeachment, not just committee, but that investigation. And this is what we have been fighting about for the last 9 months, to receive information about questions that the Department of Justice, the IRS, and Department of Treasury are engaged in about how they followed the leads and information, not just related to Hunter Biden's laptop, but actually trails that would be done under normal criminal investigation.
Congressman, I watched your questioning, and it was along those lines of the role of government and what did the IRS, what DOJ, and you know a little bit about that. Your father was the director of the FBI years ago, so you've been around this for a while. Some say that Hunter Biden was selling the brand, access to the family, and the Department of Justice protecting it. Do you see the government, that the Biden administration was using government to protect them from being investigated?
Well, let's simply tell the truth here. This goes back a number of years when Mr. Biden was vice president. And then the money that has flowed that came through in bank transactions that were really uncovered only in the last 2 years. And as part of that cover-up that took place by the Treasury Department and the Department of Justice, ever since the president took office, there were decisions made not to move forward to gain access, information, or even questioning those issues. They even protected Hunter Biden himself. As you know, the White House and during the campaign, there were some 60 former intelligence officials who said it was not true that Hunter Biden owned the laptop that became apparent. Well, that was not truthful. We have since then found out that there are people from the Department of Justice that have stymied the IRS and other criminal investigators from following through on the open leads that they had, up to and including Mr. Weiss, who was the U.S. attorney there in Delaware, holding information until the time ran out to prosecute Hunter Biden. Then the pressure got so loud that they had a secret VIP entrance into the Department of Justice, to the court system, and they were going to charge him with a misdemeanor of what should be a felony charge, and completely ignored the IRS implications. So the federal judge said, no, I'm not going to accept that because it's not followed a process that should have been followed. And ever since then, things have gone downhill for Hunter Biden and the Department of Justice.
Let me ask you this, Congressman Sessions, because I see this repeatedly in the press. The AP was out with a story almost immediately after the hearing began today. And I see this line in almost every media report. So I'm saying this because I don't think people should be paying attention to the legacy media. But this was from the AP. Republicans have been investigating Hunter Biden for years, since his father was vice president, while questions have arisen about the ethics surrounding the Biden family's international businesses. This is the key part. No evidence has emerged so far to prove that Joe Biden, in his current or previous office, abused his role or accepted bribes. Now, we know we haven't proved that yet, but that's a part of the inquiry. They're suggesting that this is all simply a witch hunt, just chasing squirrels, not doing the business of the people. You want to respond to that?
I do, Mr. Perkins, and thank you very much. It's very appropriate, and that is part of the dialogue that we are having presently with experts who have served in the Department of Justice, who are viewers of the Constitution and of the process that we're going through. The bottom line is that the Department of Justice blocked frontline investigators, criminal investigators, from knowing more about the source of the money, of investigating and asking questions of people, and perhaps even up to and including making sure that Hunter Biden and his lawyers knew ahead of time what to claim, what to wait for, and what sweetheart deal would be involved. Right. But the bottom line is that these investigators were precluded by the Department of Justice of figuring out who the big guy was, right, and where he was located when Hunter Biden made many of these
payments. That's why the inquiry is justified. Even Jonathan Turley said it rises to the level of an inquiry. Congressman, we got to leave it there. We're out of time. Thanks so much for joining us. Good to see you.